Yeah, man. It's your boy Alfred once again, and welcome back to another recording. And today's video is entitled "Knowing Yourself Will Make It Easy for You to Know What You Need." Knowing yourself will make it easy for you to know what you need. Now, this topic comes from the fact that as we start off in life, sometimes, especially as young men, we don't know what we really need. Most definitely, we know what we want. We want money. We want a bit of. Sometimes, some people want fame. We want wealth. We want to be healthy. We want nice mamacitas. Every man has will orient themselves or will familiarize with such wants, right? Always kind of evolve. Yeah, you're different, I get it, but for most men it evolve. We want peace also, especially as you get older, right, and wiser. But when it comes to what we need, especially as man, it's an individualistic thing. So you need to know yourself. That's why it's entitled "Knowing Yourself" will allow you to know exactly what you need. Now, there's a difference between needs and wants, and of course, wants are usually the general things, right? What we want. You find at times that those are the same things most people want, right? But when we need, at times, we need to find it within us. What we need, especially as you grow older. For example, what a man needs from a girl or a woman or a wife will be totally different from the next man. Yeah, the overall concept will be maybe the same. Yeah, maybe a wife that can cook, clean, all that. Fair enough. But there are some things, some factors beyond that. This is why people get into a sort of funk. They get into trouble and problems because they go at relationships, and I'm going to go into relationships here, especially romantic relationship, with what they want in mind and not exactly what they need, especially if they're going to take that relationship seriously, including women actually, right? So it's not just men, but usually talk to the men out there, right? So knowing what you want will make it much more easier. I mean, knowing yourself will make it much more easier to know what you need, right? So that will also separate confusion, because you don't want to go into a situation, whether it's relationship, business relationship, or whatever, in your head in your head knowing what you want, but then there are certain things that you may need at that moment at least, right? And then you don't know them, but then the person you're going into a relationship with is incapable of providing that certain things. And this is what happens in most relationships, right? They're incapable. Most people you go into relationship with, right, romantic specifically, they're incapable of giving you what you need. Oh, they're not going to give you what you need on a consistent basis, right? So how do you go about this? You have to be truthful. You have to be honest with yourself. You don't just get into a relationship thinking that you're going to wing it, right? Now, this goes for any relationship, right? A good example maybe if you go into a contract, that's a business relationship, maybe, right? You are maybe a singer, let's say. You are a forthcoming singer, you have potential, and maybe you got signed someone, right? Record deal or whatever, right? And that the record company offers you certain things. The car, the house, an advance of probably $1 million, whatever, right? That's exactly what you want at the moment. But because you do not read the underlining signing of things, right? You do not get to say certain things or in the contract that you would like to be provided for, right? Quote unquote what you need, you're blinded by what you want. and you're being given what you want, no one is going to like this. Few people are going to say no to $1 million, a car, a house, all that advice because I'm going to invest in it, right? Few people are gonna reject that offer. But most people who understand themselves, who understand actually that they want that, but they don't actually need it, and what they need is not in that contract. They're not going to sign that, right? They're not going to sign that because in the end, at the end of it all, you're going to be frustrated. This is another reason a lot of artists who sign a lot of these contracts get frustrated, right? And then they start blaming actually these record labels and shit, but in actuality they did not actually give up what they want, what they need, because they're already given what they want. So this is the set of thing that it takes time, for sure. As you grow older, your needs develop and change, and so do your wants at times. But some wants stay the same, right? Some wants stay the same, some wants never change, but mostly needs do change, right? For example, if you become a parent, your needs may have to change. Even sometimes you're not your wants, but mostly your needs, right? They have to change. You have to be father to your child, that becomes masters, right? So you're going to go over and over with such things, and you don't want to get yourself in a problematic situations because you do not understand yourself, and that's why the title is knowing yourself. So it's all about knowing yourself so that you know what you need in certain situations. And as a man, if you don't know yourself, then you're going to squander a lot of situations and a lot of opportunities because you're going to go after what you want, and you will be given what you want mostly because at times you're talented, you have skills, you have what people want, you have the energy, everything that people want from you, and then they give you what they think you want or what you think you want, but then you become miserable. Why all of a sudden miserable? Why are you depressed? Why are you anxious? Because you do not take the time to understand your needs. Another thing a lot of men fall for is that they take the time to know other people's needs, and then they don't take enough time to know their own needs. Now, nothing wrong with taking care of people here and there. There's really nothing wrong with that. But if you're not taking care of your own needs, you're definitely going to most likely to fall into the depression and the anxiety because everyone else is benefiting from you but yourself. Now, not to say that you should be selfish and stuff like that, no, but what I'm saying is that make sure that you are taking care of yourself and your needs. Know your needs, especially at that moment. For example, it's a growing trend now. Many people who are over 40, like I am, we are now starting to more seriously take care of our health, right, than the previous generation. It's now becoming a need. We need to exercise, we need to train. It's a need, right, because we need to be healthy. We're seeing that a lot of previous generation adults, they're kind of neglected that. So it's a need. Right, you need to take care of our health. We cannot only rely on medical, medicine and medical, whatever the medical world has for us. It's good, it's there, but taking care of the self starts there. It starts first. As the saying goes, you're better safe than sorry. Right. So taking care of yourself and taking care of your health is becoming a need. Yeah, but how does this come about? It comes about by knowing yourself, knowing that unhealthy. Right? As an individual, as you are, and what are the things that you should be avoiding? And then, especially relationship-wise, health-wise, things that you should be not concerned with. All that comes with knowing yourself. You cannot go around that, right? You cannot go around knowing thyself. I remember one of my first videos was all about that, know thyself. That's one thing that will always stand the test of time. Is knowing yourself. That will never fail. It's hard to progress, it's hard to develop without knowing yourself. You need to know thyself. It's very, very much important. It's something that every man should try and figure out and endeavor into. Because that will not only separate you from people who are not within your mindset, but it will also help you, right, grow and into the person that you're trying to develop into, because you will identify exactly the things that you need in order to get to where you want. So, as you can see that knowing the self is very important, because then we usually get lost in translation when it comes to things that we need. Why? Because we try and blend in to conform. Blending in into a certain society or certain groups, right? It usually makes us now remove the things or get rid of the things that we like, we want, or we need. Because now you have to blend in, and then when you come with certain things that you need or that you prefer, your preference of things that's good, or that certain society looks at you as if, what the fuck, right? We're not this way, we don't move this way. So, but knowing yourself or knowing thyself will filter this out, because now you say, no, I'm not going to blend into these people here. I'm not going to blend into this sort of society, because they're not going to accept me for what I'm trying to be. Because what I'm trying to be, this is what I need. And they will make it this way. Because I show you, the thing is, if you're going to neglect everything that you need, you're going to show where you're being miserable. And unless you find a way of living with that and cool with that, that's cool, that's on you. But you don't want to find it, definitely don't want to find yourself in a miserable situation, as a man especially. Why? Because you've got so much potential, you've got so much things to do, you've got your legacy, you've got your family, you've got things to do that you want to do. That all that energy should be projected towards that, and not being miserable, because miserable means you're just losing energy unnecessarily, worrying, complaining, having anxiety, and all that bullshit, especially with other people who are miserable. Now you don't want that. Remember, misery loves company. So if you join or you join forces with the misery company, you're definitely going to be miserable yourself, which means that you don't know what you actually need in your life. As a man, you definitely don't need misery. Stay away from miserable people. Yeah, you can hang around them here and there, but you cannot take them seriously, or they cannot, what they say, they cannot come with. Miserable people cannot come with. They're not willing to change, they're not willing to improve, they're not willing to develop into the best version of themselves, because they don't know themselves, they don't understand themselves, and they don't fucking know what they need. They definitely know what they want. Usually it's money, usually it's company, usually they want the savior, you know. Or if it's a woman, they want that man, the 6 figures and all that. It's what he wants. It's what she wants. If it's a man, they want that Instagram model and shit like that, which is cool. But is it what you need? And once you get it, it will actually change your life for the better. Right? And before I sign off, let me sign off with this that will actually hammer home that point. Be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. With that said, man, this has been your boy Alfred, and until next time, peace.